will avenge his death.
Revenge is not the Jedi way.
I am no Jedi.
We would be honored if you would join us.
In Star Wars, we've all seen the debated Jedi versus Sith, the light versus the dark. But what about those who stray from the light, yet aren't engulfed by the darkness? Those who stay within the lightest of shadows and devote themselves bound by no code. Based on last night's poll on the Facebook page, today we will discuss the differences between the Grey Jedi, who they are, and what they're all about. And once done so, we will hypothesize if they were more powerful than the red-sabered Sith. Grey Jedi. Some refer to Master Qui-Gon Jinn as a Grey Jedi. Count Dooku, after he left the Council and before he became a Sith, was a Grey Jedi. And of course, Anakin Skywalker's former apprentice, Ahsoka Tano, was Grey as well. Let's first start by examining the code. Flowing through all, there is balance. There is no peace without a passion to create. There is no passion without peace to guide. Knowledge stagnates without the strength to act. Power blinds without the serenity to see. There is freedom in life. There is purpose in death. The Force is all things, and I am the Force. Now that we've seen their code, let's compare it to the Sith code for our analysis. Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. Through victory, my chains are broken. The Force shall free me. As we can see, there is a big difference between the two. However, not as large of a gap as the Jedi Code and the Sith. The Grey Jedi Code takes from both the Jedi and the Sith codes while countering where one favors or negates an aspect of the Force. What I mean by this is if we examine the Grey Jedi Code, we can see that they accept the Force for what it was, which was both the light and dark sides. Without either, there would not be balance. The Force itself was just that, the Force. There wasn't a light or a dark. There weren't any sides to choose from. They felt the dark side provided too much dominance for power, and destruction of all would ensue. However, if the Jedi were to take over, choosing just the light side, then society would get too comfortable, lazy, and would just fade in time. The Grey felt both sides should be studied and mastered equally without favoring one over the other. Now, on the other hand, the Sith revolve around dominance, hatred, and greed.
If he could be turned, he would become a powerful ally.
Yes, he would be a great asset.
They use the Force for more power, while the Jedi use it to serve the people and the Republic.
Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy!
Grey Jedi don't use the Force, they move with it, and let its will guide their actions, just like Qui-Gon preached.
Without the midichlorians, life could not exist, and we would have no knowledge of the Force. They continually speak to us, telling us the will of the Force.
If anything, the Force uses them. However, both were once Jedi, as a Sith is merely a Jedi that uses the dark side of the Force for their own personal gain, instead of the gain of society and serenity like the Jedi. Both rely on passion, both rely on the Force freeing them, and all rely on being one with the Force. So, in the end, which follows a better code? The Grey Jedi are truly the most free, as even Sith are bound to their lust for power, which inevitably changed them to their desires. Look what happened to Anakin.
You underestimate my power!
While the Jedi are basically drones who deny passion, chaos, or emotion. Dooku left the Order because he felt the Jedi were too obsessed with being servants of the Republic and the Senate, and Qui-Gon rejected wanting to be on the Jedi Council because he felt Jedi needed to feel the Force more and live in the moment, rather than always trying to see into the future and inevitably becoming clouded by the Sith. In my opinion, I think the Grey Jedi had the advantage of becoming the most powerful due to them not choosing a side at all. They used the Force as it came to them, mastering the light, dark, and in between, truly being boundless and free, which is something all codes preached, however failed to do. They felt life couldn't be denied its emotions, that death had its purpose, and ignoring certain aspects of the Force, whether light or dark, was a sure way of denying oneself true knowledge and honoring the Force the way it was meant. They knew that in order to be a complete Force user, they needed to embrace it all. What do you all think about the Grey Jedi and the Sith Code? Which one would you abide by? The Sith, allowing your passion to feed your strength and lust for power, or would you allow for pure balance and move within the Force, doing what you must to instill peace when called for and chaos when necessary? I'm sure many of you will have your in-depth reasons in the comments below. Thank you all for watching this episode, and if you haven't, make sure you hit that little bell next to the subscribe button to make sure that you never miss an episode and are always up to date. Thank you so much, my fellow Jedi and Sith friends. I will see you all in tomorrow's episode of Star Wars Theory. Until then, remember,
the Force will be with you. Always.
Now, fulfill your destiny.